Yeah. I thought I'd just download yesterday's email because probably there's a cop that wondered why I didn't put their birth certificates in this one. Well, I'm focused on the whole forgery issue. I got to thinking about all those judges. Yes. See, I had sent a link to myself when I was researching the probability that it could be invidious coercion. Well, you absolutely have to issue court orders because of the threat. Yes. That I'm going to harm the petitioner or the minors named, and somebody kept lying about who I am as a person. And then you make up crimes that I didn't commit, and then you refuse to enforce the rights of my sons, and your whole thought is right now. I think invidious coercion is correct. It's kind of an adjective or an adverb. Yes. They have what's known as invidious discrimination. Oh, I'd seen that in one of these Washington state court cases. Yeah. Now, if you can have invidious discrimination, I think you can have invidious coercion where you just demand that you issue a protection order without any of the protections of law, without any proof of service, without any rights to myself or my sons. Yes, because you're absolutely fucking sure this is what you got to do right now. Now, I might have a new legal term, yes, where courts do not protect the rights of parents because one of the parents lies about the actual mental health of the individual. A new form of coercion, yeah. See, somebody's really twisting your legs today, aren't they? I mean, twisting your arm? Yes. Let's look at the definition of coercion. It's effectively to put pressure on a person to do something that they normally wouldn't do because of the urgency of the situation. Yes. If I look at coercion, yes. How many times did the supposed petitioner run into court, say he's trying to kill me right now? He's going to blow my face off. But I never said any of those things. You never gave me actual notice of court hearings. You didn't give me any notice of the dissolution of marriage hearings. And you used domestic violence laws to kidnap and exploit my sons. Now, coercion, compulsion of a free agent by physical, moral, or economic force or threat of physical force. An act that must be voluntary, such as signing a protection order or dissolution of marriage, yes, is not legally valid if done under coercion. And since a valid marriage requires voluntary consent, coercion or duress is grounds for invalidating a marriage. Yeah. Now, I've already mentioned this that it would be difficult to say that I used coercion to get my wife to marry me. Yes. When we flew all the way to Kosovo, 15,000 miles away. Yes. So that she could voluntarily marry me. But when I look at the actual use of the dissolution of marriage, where she just told the judge, I just can't see him. I can't be in the same room with him. And you just got to issue this dissolution of marriage because I sent him the notice of the court. Here, fucking proof of that. I would say that's coercion. Oh. The act that should have been done very voluntarily, but it really wasn't. Now, you gave custody of my sons to my wife for 7.5 years. See, complicit in trafficking of children and using coercion to issue court orders is a crime. Now, we already talked about the whole asshole issue. Yes. Now, I said yesterday I was going to sue the civil rights coordinators. Yes. For being complicit in kidnapping, the issuance of dissolutions of marriage where the wife uses coercion to pressure the judge to not do what the law requires because she said he tried to kill me. Where there's no proof of service. There's no actual documentation given to the father of the 5 minors named. Yes. Where the respondent never receives a copy of the dissolution of marriage. See, there's a big problem with judges not doing what the fucking law says. She used coercion, Judge Aurora. She put the pressure on you. You got to give me this right now. Now, I would say that the judge, yes, is probably guilty of being a victim of coercion. Yes, isn't that right, Judge Aurora? Now, I want the laws, right, enforced. The laws that require proof of service before having court hearings. Yes. See, when Brent Bayston decides, well, we're not going to require her signature. Yes. And we're going to use coercion to get the actual ex officio Superior Court clerk to sign this weapon surrender form. Yeah. But we're going to use her look-alike, her dog, to sign the other fucking form. Pooch. You cannot have two different signatures of the same employee of the county. Oops. The dog had to get paid. And then I thought this was probably a forgery. Yes. Actually, this was a forgery, and this, as in you had one hearing where it was the dogs that were in control, and the other hearing was the actual employees. Now, I'm including some videos that explain that fraud, forgery and defrauding Americans of their rights can cost trillions if you are owed the right to compensatory damages. And then you can sue for punitive damages. Pooch. Now, you've obstructed me from suing you because of the fraud of issuing court orders where it was involuntary. There was some undue influence, moral coercion. Yes. There was criminal coercion intended to restrict another's freedom of action by threatening to commit a criminal act against a person, threatening to accuse a person of having committed a criminal act. Yes. Judge, if you don't issue this right now, you're going to be to blame for the death of myself and my sons. Now, punitive damages are awarded only in special cases where the conduct was egregiously invidious. Yes. And to over and above the amount of compensatory damages, such as in the event of malice or intent. Now, great judicial restraint is expected to be exercised in their application. United States punitive damage awards are subject to the limitations imposed by the Due Process Clause of the 5th and 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. I think there is a very particular type of malice and intent to arrest me multiple times where you had the evidence I wasn't in Sequim. Yeah. You had the evidence I wasn't in Burnett. Yes. And then there's the malice intent of police and sheriff's departments to obligate me to go to court for a year and 4 months. Yes. While every day receiving approximately 2,500 emails. Now, when we talk about trillions, because you thought I was overestimating, you said I was crazy. I'm actually not crazy. I sent you 1,175,000 emails from the time that you had me video arraigned in Jefferson County. And you, as police and sheriff's departments, decided that you would not admit the evidence that I wasn't in Burnett. Yes, and I wasn't cyber stalking because in your minds, as long as you get me put into a mental facility, yes, you have nothing to worry about. And as long as I'm under psychotropic medication,